This is a video to accompany the text for Spanish 201 using the text Conexiones. This video will help guide you through the text and its many options and the items which will help you as you make your way through the course. We have the cover here. This should be the edition you purchased, Conexiones, Comunicación y Cultura. And we are going to look through a few of the pages of the text that you might find success in your reading and performance in Spanish 201. This is our preliminary chapter, and we're not going to do every chapter, of course, but a few chapters to explain the dynamic of the text and to guide you toward what the materials are. The materials are hinged around topics. The first topic is social media, and each of the text pages has material to guide you toward writing. As you move through the writing prompts, you'll be writing about social media, you're expressing your opinions, and it's important to have something to say beyond your own opinion. So these things are intended to stimulate you toward thinking about social media, and of course this is all at the 200 level Spanish performance. As you move through page 2 to page 5, that was page 4. Now we're to page 5, where we see one of two sections of vocabulary. This is new vocab that you'll be introduced to. This vocab will be available to you, of course, with an open book examination for each chapter, but you do want to review the vocab and use the exercises to prepare yourself for that process. The section below the vocab is called Ampliación, which is featured in every section of vocabulary. Learning how to turn verbs into nouns and adjectives. Pay attention to this section as well as the section called Cuidado, which means be careful, in which particular elements are dealt with that are problematic for English-speaking writers and readers. Pay close attention. These will appear in the exam, and there are exercises that follow these initial sections that you should be practicing with. As you can see on page 6, we have elements P2 and P3. Notice these are exercises intended to help prep you for the use of the vocab. And even though it is an open book exam, you need to review. If you are seeing the vocab for the first time, upon taking the exam, it will take much longer than you anticipate. Notice also P1 and P4 are two of the prompts that you can respond to in your writing. There's a writing sheet which we'll show you momentarily, in which you are able to choose particular prompts and write in Spanish with a certain word count. So notice P1 and P4 are prompts, P2 and P3 are exercises toward practicing the vocab and the Cuidado sections. As we move through page 7, there's more material for you to review regarding social media. And then we move into these purple trimmed pages, which are the grammar. Our first section of grammar is the present tense, very basic. However, be aware that this is a 200 level course and the examination will be at that level. Even though it's open book, it may be a bit of a challenge. The grammar is introduced briefly. There are sections called ojo, which means be careful. These are sections to pay close attention to, and there are great examples of the grammar in action, followed by, as you can see moving through page 11, exercises. Each grammar section has several pages of exercises which you should perform and check yourself using the answers included in course content. There are answers included for both the workbook and this text, and you should review them and use them as a tool toward the open book examinations. If you've performed the exercises and written your answers in the book, they will be used as an aid during your taking of the exam. Notice as we move to page 12, more exercises. These are performed at will. That means you may perform them or not, but the encouragement is that you do perform them in preparation for the open book examination. And we move into more material on page 13 that you should be reading to stimulate your thoughts about social media. More material on page 14 and 15. There's lots of good things that can be found on the website that accompanies the Conexiones text. Also, there are these little sections you can see with the cursors pointing, where you can go and look directly on websites relating to the artists or the material at hand. You should take a look when you have time at these things. It'll help stimulate your thoughts toward writing about social media. We move to another section of grammar on page 16. The grammar is explained. And again, we have the same format, moving toward exercises as found on page 18. Again, there are answers included. You should do the exercises and then check your work. As we move through the end, more exercises. This is the end of the first section, and then we have other material that's available on page 21 and successive pages that will help you stimulate your thoughts toward writing. And then we have some more material. This is the form of kind of a survey in which people respond to Facebook in Spanish, and this will be very helpful to you in your thoughts that will help move toward writing. Notice as we move, we are at the end of chapter 1, which only has one section of vocab. Other succeeding chapters have 2 sections, and you should read this material and prepare. There's the recap of the vocab for chapter 1. Hopefully this little film has been helpful to you, and I encourage questions and interaction regarding, if any questions you have regarding this material, I am here to help you.